Alright, it's been a minute since I've made one of these. However, halfway through the Penguins season, I think it's time for another update video. Last time I made one of these, the Penguins were sitting in 5th place in the Metropolitan Division. They had 25 points. They were 10-6-5, 20th in goals scored, second best in goals against, 32% power play, which was the league best, fourth best penalty kill at 85.2%, and they had a 908 team save percentage. I said that the Penguins, I think they can sustain that amount of success to a degree, but they have to be able to win the games that they should win. Have they succeeded? They've had moderate success. And what I mean by that is the Penguins, although they've done okay, and if anything, they're doing better in the standings. However, the stats I don't think are as favorable for them. Since the last time I made one of these, the Penguins have gone 10-6-4. They are now sitting in 4th place in the Metropolitan Division with 49 points. And for the record, I am recording this Monday the 5th in the afternoon, so those games have not happened yet. So if there's any sort of change, that's why. It's because I'm recording this in advance. You're going to see this on Tuesday. So, yeah, as I said, Penguins, right now they're sitting in the first wild card spot. They're tied with the Flyers, but the Flyers have the tiebreaker because they have a game in hand right now. They're sitting at 49 points. Penguins have played 41 games. Flyers have played 40. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully the Penguins can at least stay in the wild card spot. But, I mean, overall, the Penguins, I mean, they've improved in goals scored. Right now they're sitting at 11th at 134. They've scored 134 goals. They've gone down drastically in terms of goals against. 16th in goals allowed at 126. 29.7% power play, which is the second best in the league. So a bit of a downgrade, but not too bad. Oilers sitting at the top. They're the only team above them at like 32%, 33%, something stupid. They have the 9th best penalty kill at 81.5%. So the special teams have been pretty good for this season for the Penguins. Penalty kill hasn't been great in previous seasons, so it's really nice to see the Penguins' penalty kill get back up to where it needs to be if they want to be a competent team. But then the biggest drop-off since the last time I made one of these videos, the Penguins had a .908 team save percentage, and now that is all the way down at .890. So not the best. In terms of the skaters, Crosby, he's still doing his thing. He recently passed Mario Lemieux for most points in Penguins history. He'll probably pass him in goals too, either probably next season, if he continues his pace anyways. He's sitting at 24 goals, 23 assists, 47 points in 41 games. He is ageless. He's ageless, and he's going to be best Penguin I ever get the pleasure of watching, most likely. So appreciate him while he's still here, because I don't know how much longer we'll see of him. But if he keeps playing at the level he is, I believe he's on pace for 94 points, something like that. Hey, who says he can't stick around until he's 45? Brian Rust, he is second on the team in points. He has 16 goals, 20 assists in 39 games for 36 points. Then you have Carlson, who's played in all 41 games, 3 goals, 28 assists, 31 points. Malkin, who recently came off of IR, he's only played in 26 games, but even he's still doing rather well. 8 goals, 21 assists for 29 points. That's not bad, especially, as I said about Crosby, at his age, he's a year older than Crosby. So that's really good to see him doing well. However, I do think the Penguins are going to need to see a little more production out of some younger guys. Uh, Benjamin Kindle we'll get to here in a little bit. He's one of those guys that I would like to see do a little bit more. Anthony Mantha has been a great pickup for the Penguins. 14 goals, 15 assists, 29 points in 41 games. He's been a really nice pickup for this team. Crystal Tang, 3 goals, 18 assists, 21 points, 41 games. I mean, he's not nearly what he was. And at this point, he's kind of a defensive liability. I don't love just reading off points for defensemen because that's not really what you're looking for the most part. With Carlson, it kind of is because he's all offense. He says, screw the defense. So 31 points, I'm not going to be mad about with him. Letang, I mean, he's always been more of an offensive defenseman anyways. But you would like to see him, I think at this stage in his career, he needs to focus a bit more on defense, I think. He got 600 assists fairly recently, so credit to him, but he needs to, I think, dial it back at least a little bit because right now the defense is struggling with this team. Their most recent game, they were down a couple goals to the Blue Jackets, and they came back in that game, and they won it. But I think Letang needs to be more focused on defense right now at this stage in his career. Novak, I don't have a problem with Novak, personally. I like him a lot, actually. 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points, 41 games. I like him a lot. Brazo, another brilliant pickup by the Penguins this offseason. 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 points in 27 games. Of course, he missed some time. He went on IR there for a little bit. Benjamin Kindle, he has definitely slowed down a little bit. But I still think he has a lot of potential. 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points in 38 games. I don't think he's been that bad, personally, but I would like to see a little more out of him because he hasn't been as good recently. And I think that his defensive game is still a little shaky, so I would like to see him improve on that front. But he's only 18 years old, maybe 19. I forget. He's either 18 or 19. He still has lots of time to improve. So that's not something I'm particularly worried about at this moment in time. Ryan Shea, he's been okay. 2 goals, 14 points in 16 points in 41 games. He's been all right. And then Rickard Rakell, he, of course, was hurt for a good while. I think wrist surgery, I think he had. It was something with his wrist. I think he had surgery. I don't quite remember. So he missed a fair bit of time. He's still trying to find his footing back in this lineup. 6 goals, 9 assists, 15 points in 21 games. He's still trying to find his footing. Hopefully he can get back on track. I think playing with Crosby and Rust will certainly help with that. On to the goaltenders. Artur Shilovs, he's been about what I've expected this season. Of course, Shilovs, he had the really good playoff run and the good run there with Vancouver there for a little bit. He's sitting at 8-5-6 with a 3.24 goals allowed average, sitting at an .886 save percentage. Shilovs, you get what you get with him. He kind of feels like Tristan Jarry in a way, but not nearly as sporadic. He can have a good game or he can have a bad game. You just don't know what you're going to get from him on any given night. So I don't know if he's necessarily the starter of the future for this team. Stuart Skinner, who the Penguins got in the Tristan Jarry trade, he's been okay, I guess. He's 2-3, 2-3-0 to be exact, with 2.88 goals allowed average and an .874 save percentage. You want to see that save percentage get a little higher than 874 because that's really bad. But, you know, you're hoping it improves, but you can't really do much if the defense in front of him isn't really helping him out. And then Sergei Miroshov, who I don't believe has played a game since the last time, he's sitting at 1-1-2, 256 save percentage, 897 save percentage, 256 goals allowed average. Don't believe he's played a game since, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Brett Kulak, who another player the Penguins got in the Tristan Jarry trade, he has 2 assists in 10 games with the Penguins. He's been playing on the second pairing recently. I think he's been all right. I think he's been as advertised, a defensive defenseman. I have no problems with Brett Kulak. Now, recent trades the Penguins have made. The Penguins recently traded for defenseman Igor Zamulov, I think is his name. The Penguins already waived him because he didn't report to WBS, Wilkes-Barre Scranton, the Baby Pens, as I call them. And they waived him. So that trade was not a good one for Kyle Dubas. So if you want something to point at Kyle Dubas and say, hey, he's not doing a great job, that's something you can point at. The Penguins also recently traded for Yegor Chinakhov from the Columbus Blue Jackets. They gave up a second and a third round pick, and Danton Heinen, I believe, was the other piece in that deal. Gave up a skater. I think it was Danton Heinen. I don't remember. I don't remember the complete details. Yegor Chinakhov, he already has a goal in 2-3 games with the Penguins. So right now, I don't have any problems with him. Hopefully he can do well. It seems like the Penguins feel like they can make the playoffs right now, and so that's what they're trying to do. I'm just hoping they don't go all in and then it ends up backfiring. Because then you might have to completely start over again. But as of right now, the East is still wide open. Every team right now still has above a .500 win percentage. So that's absolutely wild. So the East is still wide open. The Canes right now are sitting at the top of the Metro with 53 points, and then the Islanders at 50. Devils, Flyers, Penguins each have 49. Devils at 46. Capitals at 48. Rangers at 45. And the Blue Jackets at 43. I'm looking at my notes. They're out of order. It's okay. Right now, in the Atlantic Division, the other Eastern Conference division, you had the Lightning sitting at 53 points, the Red Wings at 52, who the Penguins just beat a couple times. Then you have the Montreal Canadiens at 52 points. And then you have a bit of a drop-off in the Atlantic, as you then have the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers, they've been doing a bit better lately. They're still trying to get healthier, trying to keep the ship afloat until some of those guys can come back. You then have the Boston Bruins and the Buffalo Sabres, each at 46. But shout out to the Buffalo Sabres for recently going on that 10-game winning streak. If a team like the Colorado Avalanche do it, which I think they've done a couple times this season, it's no big deal. But when the Buffalo Sabres do it, it's like, they win the Stanley Cup. But anyways, moving on. Just had to give them a bit of credit there. The Senators and the Leafs each have 45. So still, the East is wide open. Hopefully the Penguins can stay above that playoff threshold. But it's definitely been an interesting year in the hockey realm. Penguins currently on a 5-game winning streak, hoping to keep that up. But that's all I have for this, I guess. As I said the last time I made one of these, I'll probably make another one at like 60, 61 games, something like that. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully the Penguins can keep doing what they're doing. I'd like to see a bit better goaltending, and I'd rather them not blow leads like they have in the past. I think if the Penguins can do that, I think they have a good chance of making the playoffs. But anyways, that's it for this one. Don't die.